This is Ethan with Draft Magic, and we're drafting some more Magic. I just jumped into an Oath of the Gatewatch Battle for Zendikar 4322 single limb, and we'll see how we do. Pack 1, we've got two different embodiments here, the red one and the green one. Both pretty good. What do we have in commons here? Lead by example, sweep away. Nothing really great in the common slot. Tajuru Pathwarden is a good beater, but if I was going to take a green 5-drop, I'd probably just take embodiment. Would I rather be green or red? I think I would rather be red. Oath of Jace is not all that good. Letting that go. Okay, I'm going to go with the embodiment of Fury and just see where it takes us. I'm not really passing much in red. Immobilizer Eldrazi is a good card, I guess. I didn't even mention that. And Mauve Kozilek is alright too. I'm going to go with this embodiment. We'll see where it goes. Not crazy about that as a first pick. Hey, look. It's Nissa's Judgment. One of my favorite cards in the format. Really good removal. Big tempo swing in a game. I think Unity of Purpose is a pretty good card too. Brute Strength and Cinder Hellion are on color here. There's other good cards in this pack. Sweep Away is good. Core Sky Climber is a good red or a good white 3-drop. I'm just gonna go with Nissa's Judgment. The card is just powerful and I'm not passing it. Easy to splash. Green got a lot better with Oath of the Gatewatch. It makes me wish I'd taken one of those green cards in the first pack, but This is Judgment it is. Let's see what comes next. These colors do fine things together. Alright, pack 3. Well, in green and red there's nothing terribly exciting. Cinder Hellion is a fine card too, if I want to pick up another 5-drop right now. I mean, it's okay. It's okay. It's a 4/4 trampler. Deals some damage to your opponent. Loam Larva's okay. Kozilek Shrieker, a pretty good card. Makindi Aeronaut is a good white card, and I like white. I like white paired with either one of these. I think I'm actually just going to take that and see where it goes. There's also a Spawnbinder Mage here, which is a fine white card. I think white is pretty powerful. Well, of course it is. Everybody wants to be in white in this format. Let's give it a try. Seems like the most upside. If white's open, it's a pretty good place to be. Wow. What is happening with this pack? I mean, right off the bat, there's two strong black cards over here. Grasp of Darkness is great. Instant speed, removal. It's very good. Kills most of the things in the format. Sifter of Skulls is also excellent. 4 mana, 4/3. That gives you some value when other creatures die. It's alright. Pretty good card. Boulder Salvo is great removal. Blinding Drone is a great card. There's a lot of good cards in this pack, and I have 20 seconds to choose one. Which direction do I want to go? I'm not choosing this Blinding Drone. It's either going to be Boulder Salvo or Grasp of Darkness, I think. Given that I don't have any... Wow, that black just has to be so open. I'm going to take the... No, I'm going with the Boulder Salvo. I talked myself out of that at the last second. Now I should have gone into black. Well, there you go. Regret already. I would take the Vampire Envoy if I'd taken the black card there. But Mauve Kozilek is a pretty good red card if I want to stay on this red plan. I'm happy with Boulder Salvo too. It does a lot of the same things, just at sorcery speed. But double black chased me away. Anyway, on to this pick. Hedron Crawler is okay as acceleration. Think I'm not seeing much in white here. I'm just going to take Mauve Kozilek and see if this red thing keeps happening. Alright, there's an Akum Flameseeker. Reasonable card. A decent black card here. These aren't really very interesting. I think Searing Light's pretty good. Warden of Geometries is okay. I've seen this card do some work, but I don't like auras generally. I really dislike getting 2 for 1. I like 2 for 1ing other people, so I would rather just do that. Flameseeker's alright. Let's take that card. Fills a hole in the curve here, and it does some stuff. Huh. Alright. Interesting. I like Lead by Example a lot. I don't think we need another expensive red creature right now. Harvester Troll, I think, is better than a lot of people give it credit for. 4 mana, 4/5 if you sacrifice a land. I mean, on curve it's not great, I guess, but I think I'm going to take Lead by Example here. I have a Nissa's Judgment that I like, and red-green could be a thing. White just does not seem to be coming at all. Could have been continuing to pick up some pretty good black cards here if we'd gone that direction, but I'm going to take Lead by Example. I like this card. Well, that's a late Gravity Negator. Loam Larva is okay, if very boring. Unknown Shores is alright. It's a colorless source for this Maw of Kozilek. And maybe other things if we get them. Don't really want a Loam Larva in this deck. I don't think I'm going this direction. I take the Unknown Shores. I don't know. Alright, well, here we go. We've got the Immobilizer Eldrazi came all the way around, so red is apparently not being taken very highly at this table. There's also Lead by Example and Vines of the Recluse, and I like both of those cards. Vines of the Recluse really surprises people, but we can get tricks. I've already got one of these. I think maybe I just want the Immobilizer and start working on the curve here. This could turn into a pretty aggressive build, and this card definitely... It's brutal against some decks. Some decks it just says your stuff can't block, you lose the game. And we do have a source of colorless here, so who knows? We're going some direction here. Well, we've got good options here too. Expensive creature, I don't think that's the way we want to go. We're kind of... I'd like to build this section out a little more, and I'd rather have Vines of the Recluse than Brute Strength. It's just a preference thing, I think. I like the 1 mana trick. I like that it untaps your creature. Sometimes it just gets somebody. Second Unknown Shores, or finally take a Cinder Hellion. I think I'm just going to take a Cinder Hellion. Maybe we want a big dude up on the curve. After I said we don't. I don't care about Expedite. Ancient Crab gets in the way of our stuff. Although Immobilizer Eldrazi will shut that down. Mighty Leap could get us. Hey, we've got a 6-drop. Big old dinosaur worm thing. Not playing that card. Negate last pick? Really, everybody? I guess. I don't know. I think it's a pretty good card. Open an awesome, valuable mythic or something. That'd be great. Well, it's not quite that, but Wandering Fumarole is probably worth something. If it's not, we're maybe taking a Baloth Pup. It's a decent 2-drop. It's another Flameseeker here. Flare Drone's a great magic card, but we could have been black-red. Wouldn't be playing these stupid green cards. This one's not stupid. Well, they're not stupid. My green cards are good. There's also a Stalking Drone, I guess. Speaking of green cards, that's another 2-drop that likes colorless mana. We've already got Lead by Example and Nissa's Judgment. We'll probably get more, whatever you call that, bolster, support. I think I'm going to take the 2-drop. We'll see how it is. I haven't actually played with this card yet, so Today we'll find out. Oh, I never did finish looking up that card to see if it was worth anything, so if it was, I passed the money. I don't think so, though. A couple tickets, probably. One. This pack has all sorts of interesting options. Saddleback is great, and this deck really would like to have that. Zada's Commando is also really great. I'd love Tajuru Pathwarden. There's an Embodiment of Insight here. These cards are all exceptional. This is a card that does things. It's a 2-drop that sometimes is bigger. I think I'm going to take the Saddleback here. I would really love to have Zada's Commando, but I think I want the Saddleback over all the rest of this stuff. And I hope I get another one, or maybe 2. Well, there's a Holdout Settlement here, which is a decent source of colorless. There's a Spatial Contortion here, which is great if you can get the colorless sources and actually use it. Doesn't seem like in red-green we're going to probably get there. I mean, I know I'm going to want some colorless sources for things like this and the Maw of Kozilek, but am I going to have enough sources to make Spatial Contortion work? I could, and it's good removal if you can. It's probably worth taking a chance on. Holdout Settlement is fine. It's not really the way I want to get colored mana in this deck. Tap my creatures. I want to be tapping my creatures to attack. I'm going to go with the Spatial Contortion. That might be wrong, but it seems like such an efficient removal spell if you can actually cast it. So let's try. It looks funny in this deck, so maybe that was an error. This is interesting. There's Devour in Flames, which is great removal. 5 damage to a creature, or a Planeswalker if you run into one of them. Returning a land to your hand is definitely a cost, but sometimes it works out in your favor if you don't have a land drop. And Devour in Flames ends up effectively costing 2 because you get to replay a land. Onto War Cleric's great card. That's in white. Zada's Commando is the other card that's drawing my attention in this pack. I guess Crumbling Vestige too, but I'm not going to... Well, who am I kidding? I'm not passing Devour in Flames. Zada's Commando is great and fine and everything, but I'm going to take removal here. Yep. Still would love a Zada's Commando, but not taking it there. Now it's probably just Stalking Drone. We are going to want some colorless mana sources here, huh? This will be the 4th card that wants colorless, so this one's okay without it. And Immobilizer Eldrazi and Maw of Kozilek are both at least cards without it. Spatial Contortion is not. Even a magic card if we don't have a colorless source. Spark Mage's Gambit, it's a good card too, I like that. This guy is... It's weird to me that they made these cards that have something to do with equipment in a set where they didn't really make any good equipment. Or not very much good equipment anyway, it's all in the rare slot and stuff, so... Anyway, Stalking Drone it is, and on we go. Kind of a strange red-green build going on here. I like this card a lot. Doesn't seem like it should go that late. Goblin Freerunner is probably the card we want. This deck can probably surge it out. Netcaster Spider is more of a defensive card than what we're looking for. Spark Mage's Gambit is not a bad idea. Let's get my tricks out of the way here so I can see what my actual creature curve looks like. We've got a lot of good spells. Yeah, I think I want the creature here. There's a lot of spells. Freerunner will be a good addition to the deck. Alright. There's a Timber Gorge here, which does certainly help the mana. We're going to have to be jamming some colorless sources in here. There's another Maw of Kozilek, but I don't think I want to do that right now. Another lead by example, that would be great. I think I'm going to take the Timber Gorge. I want my mana to be good. And right now it doesn't feel great. So. Oh. How does Malakir Soothsayer go that late? I should have been in black. Okay, there's a Wastes here that we could take. That's not the colorless source I'd really like to get. I won't mind having one in case I get Evolving Wilds or Pilgrim's Eye or something, but it's just another Stalking Drone here, which maybe is what I take, or a Coom Flameseeker is a decent 3-drop. No, I'm going to go lower curve. I'm going to go with the Stalking Drone. And I'll say again that we're going to need colorless sources of mana. Well, none of these are that. Take another Cinder Hellion in case we need another curve topper. I don't know about this deck right now. Take this and hope to not play it. Not gonna lie, guys, this isn't looking great right now. Could come together still. Feels like a mess. Get this guy out of the way. That foil land is tempting, though. Another ancient crab that gets in our way. I don't think I'm ever going to play an elemental uprising. Hey, I'm fine with that card coming around. I don't know if I'll main deck it, but there's Negate still just getting no respect. Okay, interesting. Well, I don't know. Maybe I let Nissa's Judgment pull me into green when I really shouldn't have, but... Well, that's an Akum Hellkite, which is just a big red dragon, and I'm going to take it. There's not really anything else in this pack that I would possibly consider over this card right now. This deck could use a bomb, and it just got one. Retreat to Kazandu I found pretty good in triple BFZ draft. I don't know how it is now. Seems like it could still be strong. McKindy Slide Runner would be a nice card to wheel. Don't really care too much about the rest of the cards, but I'm taking this Hellkite. And now we have a dragon. And this feels like a swing and a miss, except that there's this Tajuru Beastmaster that I've been impressed with even in decks without a lot of allies. If you've got a reasonable creature count, he pumps your guys and he leaves behind a real body. A 5/5 body actually matters quite a bit in this format, so I think I'm going to take him. It's certainly not an exciting second pick. You hope for better things, but sometimes you take what the dealer sends you. Well, okay. I like Valakut Invoker. It's a nice spot in our curve right now and turns into a real powerhouse in the late game if it goes that long. Tajuru Stalwart is certainly better if you're 3-color than 2. Zulaport Cutthroat's a great card. It's obviously not what we're doing. None of these things are. We're just taking a Valakut Invoker and reasonably happy with it. Glad to have one in the deck. Still hoping this Eldrazi Aggressor doesn't end up making the final cut, but alright, well here's an outnumber that I like quite a bit. We do have 15 creatures in this deck, even if we don't love them all. Another Beastmaster, probably don't need that. We're in big trouble on colorless mana here, aren't we? Yeah. Well, there's nothing I can do about that in this pack. I mean, if we can't play Spatial Contortion, we can't. And the rest of the cards are still Magic cards without it, so I'm going to go with the outnumber here. Good card to have. It may replace the Spatial Contortion. We'll see. Well, I like Oran Reef Invoker as a 2. Another card like the Valakut Invoker that can have a really big impact later in the game. Brood Hunter Worm is a fine card now. 4/3 is a reasonable body. Ruin Processor is obviously big and awesome. I don't think I need a 7 in this deck, and I don't have a way to exile anything that I'm aware of. So it's going to be the 2-drop, and I'm fairly happy with it. It's probably better than Stalking Drone in this deck so far. Well, there's a Touch of the Void. That seems exceptional at this point in the draft. Vestige the Find card. Don't really want the rest of these. Healer's good. Forerunner's good. Man, I feel like if I go back and watch this draft and think about what would have happened if I'd gone into black like I should have. But what can you do? Take Touch of the Void and move on. Happy to have it. Well, there's an Eyeless Watcher, which is kind of relevant in this deck. It gives you 3 bodies that you can support onto, or Tajuru Beastmaster can pump up. It potentially lets you get a Hellkite out early, which actually does matter when your land drops are shooting things. Or I can just take a Plummet for the sideboard. I have so much removal already that I don't think Plummet is really something we need. I guess I'll take the Eyeless Watcher. Maybe it makes the deck. It's a colorless source. So there's that. Earthen Arms. Did I play that card? Man, I haven't cast that card maybe ever. I don't know. I doubt it, but there it is. Alright, none of these things do much. I don't really want Call the Scions. I don't really want the Eyeless Watcher either. I'm really bummed about my colorless mana situation. This deck did not come together in that sense. But it's red-green, so that is not unexpected. I don't think I'm ever citing in Volcanic Upheaval, so which card do I not want other people to have? Maybe Stonehaven Medic, kind of annoying. Shatterskull Recruit. Sure, it's another big guy. We want another big guy. I don't think we're a Lava Step Raider deck. I don't think there's any reason for us to be quite that aggressive. But maybe I'm wrong. I'm not playing anything else here. There's a 3-drop here that's maybe better than this 3-drop, but maybe not. Don't really need another trick. Huh. I could take a second Lava Step Raider and really go aggressive. I don't hate that. I'd rather have it as an option than a Brood Hunter, I think. Just okay at 4-drop already. Although Maw of Kozilek is pretty unimpressive in this deck. And these are going to almost always just be Grizzly Bears. And I can very rarely activate this. I might have to play the Eyeless Watcher just to have some colorless sources. Yuck. Ah, mercy. Who knows? I got way too many playables here anyway, and we're not going to play all these cards, so we'll do some cutting. And maybe we'll cut some of those colorless matters cards. Like Maw of Kozilek probably just isn't a card this deck wants at this point. I probably don't want Earthen Arms either, and I probably don't want all 3 of these. Swarm Surge. So late. Well, let's build a deck. Lava Step Raider is just so lame in the late game. Alright, let's get these out of here. Okay. Let's not. Jeez. A little laggy. Alright. That's what the 29 we currently have look like. With 1 source of colorless mana, there's no reason not to run these 2 drops. I need 2s anyway. I guess this guy's going to have haste some amount of the time. I have some colorless guys. This Void Attendant doesn't do anything other than be a 2/3. And for that reason, it's probably going to the bench. This Free Runner, we really hope we get to Surge into, which we probably can. I don't know if we're running these guys. Probably not. Oh, well, this is 2 drafts I've recorded so far, and I haven't been a big fan of either of the decks. This is a 4-3-2-2, so if I can grind out one first round victory, I can win a couple of packs anyway. Need to make 5 or 6 more cuts to this deck. What do I want this deck to look like? Eyeless Watcher just doesn't seem at all like what this wants. I don't think I want all of these. Would I rather have 2 Cinder Hellions or a Cinder Hellion and a Shatterskull Recruit? Diversity seems good, but is this guy just better? Maybe Trample is just better than Menace. Easier to cast. Although I want to run a fair number of mountains anyway for the Hellkite. It's double red and you like to play mountains after you cast him. Maybe I'll cut Shatterskull and try just 2 Cinder Hellions. I don't think I want the Lava Step Raiders. How aggressive do I want to go? I've got these cards down here that let me be pretty aggressive in combat. Boulder Salvo gets better with more cheap guys in the deck. Free Runner gets better. Maybe I do want to push this curve way down. Makes Earthen Arms actually a card that maybe is worth playing. Good with Baloth Pup. Immobilizer Eldrazi is pretty much just going to be a 2-1 for 2, but so I could cut some top end stuff from this deck. I mean, Eldrazi Aggressor is pretty boring. I could cut a Cinder Hellion. How aggressive do we want to push here? Sometimes when you have a weaker deck like this, you're better off really pushing toward the aggressive and trying to just tempo people out of games. We certainly have some cards that can do some nice things with tempo if we get a good draw. But maybe the Beastmaster is not something we need in this deck then. Like I could cut a Beastmaster and cut a Cinder Hellion and drive that curve to the left. That would put me on 24 cards. I'd want to cut one more. I mean, a 17 land deck with a Coom Hellkite is not ideal, but obviously I'm running the dragon anyway, and I don't think I want 18 lands in an aggressive deck. Maybe having the Beastmaster to try to push my little guys is a better thing anyway. This deck. What do I want to pilot for the next couple hours? The only spells I would consider cutting are like Spark Mage's Gambit and Earthen Arms. I want the rest of these in the deck for sure. These are on the fence. And I guess I'm on the fence about you and you. These get better if we're going this direction, or I could leave these guys in and cut these and not be quite so all-in aggressive. Maybe the deck's just better without the Lava Step Raiders. They're just so pathetic when you draw them later in the game. Yeah. try it without the lava step raiders. Go a little bigger. And maybe I cut earthen arms along with that. Leave the gambit in as a nice little removal spell and trick. No, it's not a trick. It's like a falter effect that can be pretty handy, and sometimes it just kills creatures that matter. I like this alright. My stalking drones are pretty lame. My immobilizer Eldrazi, maybe this Unknown Shores will come up often and make our 2-drops better. Ugh, I'm running an Eldrazi Aggressor in this deck. A 2/3 that sometimes has haste for 3 mana. That's so boring. But it does fill the curve, and I think we're going to go with it. So we're running this Timber Gorge. Let's combine these groups and see what we've got for color. A lot more red than green, but we definitely need green early in the game. Alright, go pretty even on the split here. Maybe lean a little bit toward mountains, although we have 4 green 2-drops. Yeah, 9/6. That's not what's going to happen. It's maybe 8/7 toward red, and that's mostly because of the Hellkite. Yeah, I'm alright with that. Alright, let's see what this thing can do. I think it could win if it curves out. Alright, wish me luck. Round 1 coming up.